everybody, welcome back to our channel, or if it's your first time, welcome. My name is Mel and this is my wonderful, amazing,
overkill,
kind,
supportive,
say
more nice things,
not too hairy husband, Adine.
just the right amount of hair everywhere, just consistently. I'll stop there. Hey, welcome, and if you're new, welcome to our channel. We are part-time plus resellers, which basically means that I'm part-time and she's part-time plus, meaning Melinda has dedicated about 2.5, 3 days a week. Very recently, she quit her job and she's able to put in more hours into our resale business.
We originally started out both part-time. We were just doing this at night after we got out of work, after watching Jessica, our daughter. We currently make 6 figures selling on platforms like eBay, a little bit on Etsy, Poshmark, and Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, last year, part-time, before the switch, we grossed $122,000 in sales, and we haven't looked back. We truly enjoy doing it, and we enjoy making these videos. We make 1 video a week for sure, amongst others, and this is what we call our weekend sales video, or what's sold video. And we cover a lot of subjects and categories and these things that you can find in your general area or in resell them for profit. And the best part about these videos is that you guys have told us many times how helpful they are to you and how many thousands of dollars you've made because of what we share with you. So thank you again for your support.
Yeah, this is our weekend what sold video. So the purpose is you can see what's actually selling currently, present day, if you're watching it recently, on those platforms. And we really love hearing those success stories. That's our whole purpose of doing these.
And what we'll do is we'll alternate. So one of us will go first, talk about a subject or a few sales. We'll go back and forth. We'll share some packing tips, and we'll share all of our numbers so you can see exactly how much money we put in the bank after this weekend is done. So let's dive right into it. Here are all the shoes that sold for us this weekend. We sold some on Poshmark, eBay, and Facebook. So let's cover those first. Keep in mind, we have over 220 shoes actively listed right now, and we're constantly replenishing it. So if you're seeing slower moving shoes are typically a volume game. So obviously the more you have, the more you're going to sell. So just keep that in mind. If you only have 10 for sale, it might take some time unless there's some very sought after shoes like Dansko's, for example, which you'll see that sold really fast for us. We process shoes about once a week. We let them dry, and then we get them listed. We're typically listing anywhere from 5 to 10 pair every day, if not every other day. So let me show you what that consistent work turns into. The first 2 pair I'm going to cover sold really fast. Melinda's listed and sold one on Facebook Marketplace the same day, which was Friday. And then I listed a pair today, and they sold the same day on Sunday. So today is Sunday after all. Both of them are at Dansko. The first ones that sold today for $45 were these burgundy pair. Really nice condition. Some scuffing on them. We just disclose and take pictures of everything. Treads are really nice, odorless, damage-free. $45 we pay for shipping. It's going to cost about $9 to ship these out. And then Melinda sold these on Friday. These are, again, Dansko's. They're just this matte black leather finish. Really nice condition. Picked them up at Goodwill out the door for $40. They pay for shipping. Dansko's are always a fast seller for us. Not usually the same day, but hey, we'll take it when they move right out the store. Next 3 pair all sold on eBay. First one, these Sauconys, super small size. They're almost like a youth size, but they're actually a woman's smaller size. They sold for $29 for free shipping. They're light. They're going to ship first class, which is roughly $5. These Keens, an amazing brand to resell. The market is always really good for these. These Keens sold for $40 with free shipping on eBay, and we'll just ship these in a shoebox, anywhere between $9 and $12. That's usually what they cost to ship out. And then these Columbia hiking trail shoes, excellent condition on them, a little bit of blemishing here and there, but they're really nice shoes. They sold for $30 again on eBay, and we pay for shipping all 3. On to Poshmark. So on Poshmark, they pay for shipping. Poshmark does have higher fees. They do charge 20%, which is perfectly fine. They're going to pay for shipping on all of these. These first ones were Nike Downshifter. These are just a classic running shoe. We did try to clean the blemishes out of them, but there's just some staining on them. I'm not sure how well that's going to show, but still, they sold for $29. Again, they pay for shipping. Another Posh sale, these are Nike Air Max. Excellent condition. We got these in a private bulk buy where someone was just getting rid of a bunch of their clothing, their extra clothing. So these sold for $40. Yeah, just really, really nice condition. I think she might have worn these 2 or 3 times. Another pair of Sauconys, these sold for $39. Look at the treads on these. I mean, if these were worn more than 5 times, I'd be shocked. Almost mint condition, $39 out the door. A super fast seller for us, these Nikes. What I've noticed with Nikes and shoes in general, the weirder they look, typically the faster they sell. These are like a sock. I think they're like sock dart is the title of them. So they're super flexible with this whatever, I don't even know, this bridge on them. These sold for $35 within a few days on Poshmark. And finally, the last pair of shoes that sold were these Coach. These sold within 20 minutes. We took a quick offer. We don't like to sit on our shoes. We like to churn them as fast as possible. And these sold for $28 and they pay for shipping again. Let us pack up these shoes and Mona will be back and she's going to cover the next category. Here are all the shoes packaged. We use these USPS shoe boxes for free. We just got a whole bunch in that we ordered, so we're happy that that's replenished. There's the Sauconys. We're going to ship these just in a poly bag. They're pretty low risk of getting damaged. We're comfortable with that. For first class shoes, we've done that several times without any issue.
So I'm back and I get the fun category this week. I'm going to go over some electronics and some other big sellers that we had. So first up, these are very consistent sellers for us. Anything VHS VCR related that includes combos. This weekend we just have this one symphonic going out. We don't have a lot left in our store. They sell pretty quick. We sold another one Thursday, as soon as it was listed basically. This one actually sold on Etsy. Etsy is a great place to list vintage electronics, vintage sweaters, vintage stuff in general. So this sold pretty quickly on there. We have 20 into it and that includes repair. We have techs that repair them if they're broken, so we can still pick them up at the thrift even if they're not working perfectly. We sold it for $65. We have a couple Sony things going out. This was a great find, new in box, headphones, pretty simple, pretty basic. Obviously Sony is a great electronics brand. They priced this at $6 at our thrift and we sold it for $100. It's gonna go first class. This is very light. We also sold these Sony speakers. We picked these up at our thrift for $15 and they sold for $68 shipped. And when I say shipped, I mean that includes shipping. We have a free shipping model that we run off of. We do have a video that goes over that. If you're interested, we'll link it below. So this one is a little bit different. These are harder to come across. This is a Heathkit vacuum tube voltmeter. I don't know what the purpose of it is. I don't know. Dean was able to test it. He took some science courses in college that allowed him to sort of figure it out. So he knew that it was working. It sold very quickly and we picked this up for $22 altogether at an estate sale. It was somebody who worked for one of those big car companies, GM, and he was having an estate sale. We picked it up. He had a lot of really good high-end stuff there that he just liked to play around with. We sold this for $130. I'll also mention, although this one comes with the kit here, we have been selling these manuals for $25 a piece without the sets. They're just harder to come by. Again, it's older. People are looking for them. Manuals like this get lost in moves and they just sell really well. And we were able to pick them up for 25 cents a piece. So we're getting a very good return on those. This is a GeoTrax train. We bought a huge lot of GeoTrax and we've already sold a number of lots. So this actually will put us into the profit with this sale. It's just the train. Those are the most valuable pieces of GeoTrax. So if you get a lot, try to make sure there's at least one working train with them because that's what really makes the sets valuable. This has 3 pieces. It was almost 100% complete. It's missing one little thing, but it sold for $45 shipped. Some other random things that we've been selling. Adine has picked up a couple big lots of CDs. And if you haven't watched any of our What Sold videos, we don't recommend just picking up CDs randomly. We do, however, can recommend lotting them up if you are able to get really big lots of them. That's been going very well. They've been selling steadily for us. We haven't been sitting on them, which kind of surprised on, but it's also a very good return. So these are all the same artist. This is Ashanti. We have 25 cents into each CD, so 75 cents into this. This one sold for about $14.50. Now some CDs do have individual value. This is a band called Cream, and we sold this one by itself, again 25 cents into it. So I mixed up the prices. The Ashanti actually sold for $13.50, not $14.50, and the Cream CD we sold for $14. So you can lot them up either by band or artist, like we did with Ashanti. We've also been having luck selling them by genre. So if you have all rock or all hip hop, those have been doing well for us as well. So something to keep in mind if you happen to come across something like that at a garage sale, yard sale, something where people are just trying to offload their old media. So one thing that we are sort of known for is hashtag pots and pans. We really like to sell pots and pans. If you pick up the right brands, there is a lot of value. People always need them. They're always looking for quality cookware. Usually people are either looking for sets, for starters, or they're looking to replace pieces. They're usually also very undervalued, either at garage sales or at thrifts. So it's a great way to find something affordable that you can flip for a decent profit. We love shipping them. We think that they're one of the easiest things to ship because they're pots and pans. They're not really going to break in transit. You just have to wrap some paper around them, put them in a box, and away they go. So we had a great pots and pans sale this weekend, and here's what it was. So this brand is Emerald, and a good way to identify it, besides obviously having the brand all over it and on the handle here, one thing you're looking for is this copper ring. Usually things that are copper clad or copper bottom, like Revere ware, do hold a higher value. It distributes the heat more evenly, so you'll see that more in professional cooking grade pots and pans. I picked all of these up as one lot. I paid $20 off Facebook Marketplace. And here's the thing about looking on Facebook Marketplace. These were just listed as pots and pans. So somebody had upgraded their cookware, and people tend to undervalue used cookware again. So I could see from the photo that they were Emerald because I could catch that brand. And once you get familiar, you can sort of look for things to identify them in those listings without necessarily having to ask for more information. So I picked it up for $20. And my philosophy is always to list high. When you're dealing in sets, you're usually not going to find an exact set that you have with the exact same pieces. So you have to go by number of pieces. What are the individual pieces valued at alone? You know, what sizes do you have? What's valuable in your set? So I said I'm going to throw it up for $275, and if it doesn't sell in a month for that, then we can piece them out and go from there, and then we can max out our value. Because I went through and I figured that the value for all of them separately was about $265, but I would have to list them separately, which is more work for me. They sold within a week for the full $275, and the buyer also bought this 3-quart deep dish pan with the lid as well. So we have 20 into the big set, we have 12 into the 3-quart, so 32 into everything, and 320 sale with one shipping cost. That's 10 times our return. Don't undervalue basic pots and pans. And look, it's really easy to clean them. If you see gunk on them, if you're concerned that they're dirty, they clean up really well. That's what they're designed to do. Just have to use a little scrubbing power, but you can do it with just your basic household soap and a sponge. We do recommend getting some steel wool. That clears up a lot. And some Barkeeper's Friend or some ketchup or baking soda and lemon. There's a lot of different things out there. We cover lots of different brands in our pots and pans video. If you haven't seen it, we'll link it below. So in your free time, you can go check that out if you're interested in selling pots and pans like we do. Adine's gonna cover some more stuff.
Next up, my favorite by far category to cover. Luckily, there's nothing with crazy straps and strings. Ladies, for you ladies out there, clothing. So I'm gonna I'm gonna cover clothing, which are used to cover up. The first one is this Nike track piece. It's just a simple track jacket. Thrift store for $5. It sold for $30 free shipping. This will ship for about $5 as it is first class. This jersey also sold this weekend. This is Mr. Robinho, number 70 from AC Milan. I thought that these would do a little bit better. I kind of bought them blindly. A gentleman was selling a bunch of his old jerseys on Facebook Marketplace. He wanted, I think, 15 each. I ended up offering him 10 each. So $10 into $25 shipped is not very good. So shipping will be about $5. It only leaves like a $4 profit. But look, lesson learned, don't gamble. We've sold most of the other ones already for a little bit better profit. Yeah, it is what it is. This hat also sold this weekend. The brand is Totes. It's a vintage hat. I smacked it and some dust came out of it to show you how vintage it actually is. We have 10 cents into it from our honey hole up north. It sold for $23 with free shipping. And again, first class, it'll ship for less than $5. We sold some yarn. We sold some yarn. I don't know why I'm doing that accent, but we picked this up at Goodwill for a couple of bucks and sold for $18 shipped. And guess what? It's first class again. This is super easy. Just throw it into a poly bag and out the door. This thing sold. This is for you ladies. You put it here, I think. I'm not sure. It's a Coach purse, I think, right, Melinda?
That's correct.
Melinda's nodding yes. It also comes with a wallet. You can put your money stuff in here, and then you can put your wallet inside your purse. You know, women's stuff. $45 off of Poshmark. This sold really fast. We literally listed it, and it sold within a half hour. We took an offer, $10 less than listed, which is fine. Let's just move it. One thing I'll give you guys a warning on: Coach purses seem to get Vero strikes on eBay for whatever reason, even though there's a strong sales history there. So this time around, we didn't even list it on eBay. We just listed it on Posh. Melinda got this in a bulk private buy from one of her friends that reached out. She was about $10 into it, so 10 into 45, much better than my jersey score, plus they pay for shipping on this one. Another pickup by Melinda. Again, someone's a little bit better in clothing than I am. This is a Nike piece, another one. This one sold for $40 with free shipping. It's a plain, I don't know, sweater. It's a sweatshirt, but it has this like modern hoodie head cutout thing. You put.
It's Therma.
It's Therma something. You put your head in here, and then this surrounds it. $40 out the door. We paid $5 at Goodwill. A pair of jeans I picked up for $8, $7 for All Mankind. You can see the logo on the inside. This is a pretty solid brand for us. It sells pretty regularly when we can find it. Picked it up for $8 and it sold for $36. It will ship for $7.18 in a padded, not even a padded, a just regular envelope that's flat rate shipping. And last one before Melinda gets into more exciting sales is another pair. This isn't jeans, it's like a jeans type denim. It's Orvis. Orvis seems to do pretty well for us also. Picked it up for $6 and it sold for $36 today. Back to Melinda.
Okay, and I'm going to go over everything else that's sold that doesn't necessarily fit into a category. I mentioned that we had been selling those booklets, and we sold 2 by themselves this weekend. These sold together for tube data. Again, 25 cents into both of them, so 50 cents, and we sold them together for $20. This Barbie is finally on its way to somewhere else. This is one of the first lots that we picked, was like a huge Barbie lot, and we're already in the profit on it. I bought the whole thing for $60, and one of them was rare and it sold for $70, but everything else has just been kind of like slowly churning out. This is one of the very last ones. We had it lying around, actually. We hadn't listed it for a while, and then it sat for a while after we listed, so about $2 into this one, and she sold for $18. Very happy to see her go. So this is a pretty sweet one, but not a huge profit margin. This is a Supreme skateboard, and they did a collaboration with a member from the Wu-Tang Clan, And there's a carpet actually with this same theme on it that sells for over $600. This is just a skateboard, but it's obviously still new in the factory package. It sold for $150 on an offer. Lots of watchers on it. So we just lowered the price and it got a buyer right away. Next is a food processing bowl, almost as exciting as a Wu-Tang skateboard. We really like parting out these old kitchen appliances. They tend to sell faster and they're lighter to ship, and you tend to get more value overall after everything. So this is just the bowl to a, I think, DC-10, but we have about $2 into it and it sold for $34.87. We've also sold a number of these Farberware percolators. Great condition. They heat up so fast. This one isn't the super fast one, but we have sold those ones before. Just a solid little seller for us. We usually pick them up for $6-7. This one we picked up for $6 and we sold it for $38.66. This one is a rainbow vacuum part. It's not going to Costa Rica, in case you were wondering. The reason I say that is we've sold so many of these rainbow parts, but they always end up going to Costa Rica. Not this one. This took a little while to sell. It is a carpet cleaning attachment. We have $10 into this unit and it sold for $70. And we're just going to take it apart. So it'll collapse a lot more. They're just about to take it off here, here, and down here. So by the time we get it packed up, it'll just fit in a nice square box. And it's sturdy, so we will bubble wrap the crap out of it, but it's probably not going to break on the way there. And the last one, I'll invite Adine in here, is another GeoTrack slot. So we have just so many tracks left over and still some trains. So this is a bunch of tracks with a train, a working train. They've all been tested. We have about $10 into this set, and we sold this one for $43. We're going to get these all packed up, calculate the shipping, and then go over the numbers of what we are going to actually put in our pocket after this weekend sales.
Wanted to share this packing tip with you guys. This is that skateboard that's sold. So instead of erecting a box and then cutting it down to size, I just took a bigger box and I folded it over and bubble wrapped the skateboard inside of it and then close it this way. The next thing I'm going to do is take 2 large poly bags. I'm going to fit them from each side so there's protection from moisture. The skateboard is shrink wrapped and it is bubble wrapped and it is inside of this, but it might be a collector's piece for someone and I really don't want it to get damaged, especially by water. It's pretty straightforward. When you're measuring something oblong like this, you want to get the thickest. That's going to be your height is the thickest. So it's going to be, about here, about 2 inches. And of course you just do length times width. You can also use this method for pots and pans, especially pans that are without lid. You don't have to build a box and then reduce it. You can just bubble wrap it or cardboard wrap it and then slide it in between, just like this one. Hopefully that helps you guys with some of these flat, long pieces. So here's everything packaged. It's time to go through, figure out the numbers. So let's go through those numbers to see how much we actually made off of all of these sales.
Okay, so I'm back because we actually forgot about some orders that we already packed up on Friday. We've started doing that because it makes Sundays just a little bit less longer. We get to bed a little bit sooner. So real quick, those were a pair of Nike shoes, Metcon Flyknit, supposed to be good for like weight training. Those sold for $40. And we have about $6 into that. We also sold a set of Martha Stewart pots and pans. It was a local Facebook pickup, so no shipping, no fees. We had about $9 into 2 pots, and those sold for $35 cash. We also sold another 7 for All Mankind pair of jeans, 8 into those as well, and those also sold for $45. We sold a little box set of the Chronicles of Narnia. These were complete from 1970. We have $2 into those, and those sold for $35. And then we also sold a pair of Silver Tuesday jeans. We had $6 into those, and they sold really fast for $44. And I remember specifically when listing them, they had a flare leg, as you can see, hopefully from the pictures that Adine's popping up over here. Flare is in right now, so I knew when I was listing that they weren't going to sit long, and I kind of listed them a little bit high for that reason. So pay attention to trends. You can squeeze a couple more dollars out sometimes if you know what they are. Now we are definitely going to go over the numbers.
The numbers.
So we ended up having a really great weekend. Started off a little slower, but as it stands, we have sold a gross of $1,947.
Top 5 for sure. Our record, I think, is 2,200. No, more than that.
2,400.
24, yeah.
Record.
22 is second place. So this might be top 3. I don't know. Top 5 for sure. Yeah, very consistent. And one thing that we did, what we're trying to get in a habit of is on Fridays, put in some long hours, process as much as possible. And we ended up putting up 30 listings on Friday, which translated into some more sales this weekend. So we try our best not to work as much on the weekends. Obviously, when our kid is sleeping, that's when we're packing and working. But we spent a lot of family time this weekend, which was awesome. We got to see both sets of parents, yada yada. So that was nice.
Yeah. So our cost of goods for everything that we just went over was $325.
Awesome. Yeah. Keep your cost of goods low. The worst was the skateboard because it was $70 to $150, only like a $30 profit. The best was that Emerald set, which was just fantastic.
Low cost into high sell-through. So shipping for everything was $239. So shipping is not as intimidating as a lot of people think it is.
Right.
$239 to ship almost $2,000 worth of goods.
Yeah.
I would do that every weekend. I'd love to do this every weekend.
Oh, for sure.
So that left us with a net of $1,383. So that's before taxes. We account for about 30% taxes. It's high, but we just want to make sure it's covered. So after that, that would be another $415. So absolute net income, the amount that goes into our bank free and clear, is $968. So that's great. We usually clear about $1,200 to $1,500 in a weekend is our average,
gross,
and that works out to about $500. So that's a lot more money than that.
It was really good. I mean, just think about it, right? And we also had this is 3 days in sales: Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we had another 4 days of a week. So our net profits for a week were probably close to $2,000, which is pretty crazy when you think about the business model that we have.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And it was pretty slow Friday, so just let slow days encourage you to take the time to put up some more listings because you're going to save time in shipping. And
this is that mental strength that you really have to keep in mind when it comes to resell. I mean, we've had some really slow days this week, but it happens to every single human being. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing this. When you have slow days, slow sales, it typically does not motivate you to do a lot more work. When you have those great sales days, when you sold 15 things, it motivates you because you're just like, yeah, it's a constant win. So just keep that in mind. That mental strength that you build up is going to make you successful in the long term. Don't worry about those inconsistent days. Just keep working at it.
I have to say on the opposite of that. On slow days, I really want to list more because I look around, I'm like, oh, we have all this good inventory. If I list it, I'm going to get more sales. So, and it also distracts me from having a slow sales day. Gives me something to focus on other than I feel a little down because we're having slow sales.
Yeah, but you feel it too, right? Like you feel it when it's a slow day. It's just a human thing, you know. There's nothing to it. This thing might fall on me. So before then, I think it's a good time to cut the video. Thank you guys, of course, anyone that's joined us in the premiere. We always appreciate seeing you guys there.
And of course, thank you to everybody else who takes time out of their day to watch our videos. Welcome, and thank you to people who are just watching us. If this is your first video, thanks for sticking it through this long and giving us a chance. If you found value in this at all, consider subscribing and giving us a thumbs up.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care, everybody.
Later.